This chap here is the chap that's been doing Scandinavian studies, so I ask you all to put your hands together and make him feel very, very welcome, and welcome to the stage, Mr. Rory Telfer, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright. So I'm pretty excited to be here because I've always been passionately interested in Vikings. So it's a great honour. I study Swedish, which is of limited use. But, you know, I'm a bit worried about what I'll do for a career, but, you know, some people would say that knowledge in itself is its own sort of wealth. You know, it's the greatest wealth a man could have. Businesses say otherwise. Cash or debit card, they're pretty adamant. So, long story short, can I borrow some money? So, part of my degree, I lived in Sweden for a year. I'm back now. Hi. So I was living in Uppsala, and okay, that's the punchline. I was living in Uppsala, and I found it quite interesting seeing how far modern Sweden is from its past. And I think a Viking or one of their ancestors would find a lot of difficulty finding similarities. For instance, you know, where Sweden has IKEA, the Vikings had raping and pillaging. Where Sweden has kind of progressive modern society, the Vikings had raping and pillaging. And they're not very similar. And you see, well, the Swedish king, I don't know if anyone knows what he looks like, but it doesn't exactly bring to mind sort of barbarian warlord. He looks like a sort of IT consultant who's been dressed up like a soldier and made to stand in front of a big house. But yeah, you don't really find many similarities between Sweden and the Viking Age until Valborg, which is it's Swedish May Day, essentially. Instead of sort of twats dancing around a pole, it's drunk, metrosexual Swedish students in designer shirts setting fire to fucking everything. If it can be lifted, it's lifted and put in a pile and burned. If it can't be lifted, they have axes. Chopped off, put in a pile and burnt. It is 5 days of drinking and burning and just throwing up. And the police and fire brigade just stand there thinking, yeah, good. And I think that's maybe one of and then everyone forgets though, as soon as that's away, they go back to kind of, you know, quite sort of calm, moderate people. And I think that's the sort of 5 days of a year where a Viking would go back in time, look at his modern Swedish relation and think, good job. I mean, I can't imagine a Swede from the 10th century going to IKEA and being like, oh, hurdy-gurdy drawing. Great! Like, burn it! After smashing it up with an axe. So, elephant in the room, I'm Scottish. Sorry. And I think there's quite a lot of interest for the Vikings here because it was sort of one of the first places they came to once they left the north. And the sort of a reason it's given is they came to Shetland first because it's so close to Norway. They say, you know, it's natural that they would go to Shetland. It's only a 2-day sail. And you think, no. Because Shetland's less than 2 days away for me. And I still don't want to go. Because Shetland is possibly the worst holiday I can imagine. You can imagine the Vikings, 2 days in the freezing cold, piss and rain, and they get off the boat, is Shetland. And they look around and just go, oh, Jesus. Is this it? Yeah. What do we do now? Farm? I don't know, farm, yeah. Where'd Thorbrand go? South of France. Oh, good for him. And like family reunions in the fjords in Norway. It's like, oh, how are you doing? Like, oh, good. Yeah, I was in the Middle East, in Serkland. You know, got all this gold. Well, what were you? Shetland. Oh. Farm. Another interesting thing, which I can't really imagine, is in Iceland. Genetically, most women share their DNA with Celts. There's a Celtic type, which means basically Scandinavian men came to Scotland and Ireland, stole women, and brought them to Iceland. Which isn't as funny as you might think. But my main thing with that is Scandinavia is sort of famed as like one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like people, whenever you say Scandinavia, they'll instantly just say, oh, hot girls, you know. And to think that the Norwegians were willing to sail 4 days in the North Sea from someone from the west coast of Scotland. Like, I can't imagine Norwegians today going on a lad's holiday to Paisley. I'm looking around at some girl, like, swigging on Lambini and thinking, take her home to mum. She's wearing a skirt or she just pulled her t-shirt down? Who knows? That's me done.